I have at times as well from my managerial career. Not rated players, there's definitely ones that I wake up in the middle of the night and thought, well, I should have signed him or I shouldn't have let him go, that have gone on to be top players.
FIFA 21's career mode has had a massive overhaul. I'm talking wholesale changes that revolutionise the game mode and reflect the challenges facing an elite level manager. Being a huge career mode fan myself, I want some tips for taking on this year's version, so I'm going to pick the brains of one of the world's best gaffers, Chris Wilder, for a unique insight into top level management. Hi Chris, how you doing?
Hello Timbsy.
Right, so first question is very simple. How would you describe your approach? Like, is there a Wilder system?
You know, my approach has been a pretty similar one right the way through. An honest approach to players, a tough approach when needed, an approach that brings people together and tries to construct teams instead of individuals.
For yourself, you've managed so many players. What is the biggest challenge for you in terms of player management?
Me having to listen to their music in the change room before the game, that's my biggest challenge.
Are you not allowed to put your own music on?
I do at times, and then all the boys are looking around and going, he's got Paul Weller on again, he's got Stone Roses on again. Who are these guys? Might be a little bit of a struggle for me to connect to, but I have to adapt and adjust as much as these boys have to adapt to adjust to me, really.
With FIFA 21's new transfer and loan options, I now have basically more power than ever to create my perfect team. And for you, has there ever been a loan signing that you've made that's made a real impact?
I mean, we've had to use the loan markets pretty smartly. You know, we signed Dominic Calvert-Lewin at Northampton when I was at Northampton, and at Sheffield United, Dean Henderson, who was fabulous. And we've signed Ethan Ampadu this year from Chelsea, who's a loan signing, and I'm sure, you know, he'll go on to be a great player. So the experience that he has with us this year, hopefully hold him in good stead when he goes back to Chelsea.
So with career mode's new match sharpness feature, I can now basically stay on top of a player's mental state and how prepared they are for the next game. For you, is that something you pay particular attention to? And how difficult is it to actually assess something like that?
Yeah, deal with human beings. So trying to create mentally strong characters at our football club, I think you have to be a professional footballer. They have to go into environments that are hostile, that are intimidating, that are loud, that are noisy, in pressure situations.
For sure.
And they have to think for themselves. They've got to stand on their own 2 feet, and they've got to be mentally strong. The mentality, if it's not right, then that has a huge impact on their game, which ultimately has an impact on the team. I mean, you know, I've got to say, when I first took over at Sheffield United, we lost 3 out of the first 4 games. After the 4th game, we played Millwall, and I stopped at an off licence in Bermondsey, which is quite brave of me to do, to stop the team coach and get off the bus in a tracksuit and spend £100 on some beers for him on the way home, because I knew that was the right thing to do at the right time.
The new player development capabilities in career mode means that now I can develop players to fulfill multiple roles on the pitch. How do you actually go about analysing what players are going to be able to make that positional and tactical shift?
Chris Basham is a really good example. He started off as a centre midfield player. Now he's playing as a right centre half for us, has played as a centre half in a 3, and has played at right wing back. So he needs the physical qualities to play in those positions.
For sure, for sure.
But one of the biggest ones, does he want to do it? And I think that's part of constructing the group. You have players that are selfless and are team players that, if asked, and we feel they can do, can adapt and change their role.
So with the new interactive match sim feature, I can now hop in and take control of the game at key moments. For yourself, as a manager and a former player, have there ever been times when you wish you could have subbed yourself on?
No, you always fancy it. Then obviously you get into the situation where, you know, you blaze it over the bar from 12 yards. No, trust me, players, there's certain times where you wish you were out on the pitch. And I've got to say, certain times where you think, I'm glad I'm not out of the pitch, because I'm going to have to deal with Mane and Salah. And I'm thinking, I'm glad I'm stood in that technical area and not having to go 1 versus 1 against those boys.
If there was one piece of advice that you could give your younger self before stepping into management, what would it be?
Don't get too down on yourself when you make mistakes. Don't get too high when you have a bit of success. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, listen, but ultimately, gut feeling, go your own way and believe in what you're doing and commit to that belief.
Chris, thank you so much.
No problem, really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Take care.
All the best.